Welcome to the Greater Cincinnati Business Showcase, a weekly look at what's working in Queen City commerce and the people who power it. Brought to you by Toyota Boshoku America, design your passion. And produced by Resource Marketing. In the spotlight this week, the Harmon Museum, Thompson Enamel, Great Oaks Career Campuses, and Pet Love Photography. And featuring an appearance from the Facebook sensation, Mr. Bojangles. All this and more on this week's Greater Cincinnati Business Showcase.
Hi everybody, we're in Lebanon, Ohio, just a little bit northeast of downtown Cincinnati, and I'm here with John Zimkus. John, tell me about this wonderful facility. This is the Harmon Museum, right?
Yes, you're in the Harmon Museum in the heart of downtown Lebanon. We're operated by the Warren County Historical Society. And we have a 3-floor facility which covers everything from art to culture to history, all about the area. Currently in the Victorian Gallery, above the front entrance, and around us you will find a part of our temporary display called Between the Wars, ladies' fashions between the wars of World War I and World War II.
And this is just one of the many themed displays you have out here. Lebanon, obviously, a big center of shaker culture, and there's a big shaker display in the back, too.
Right. Union Village was the first shaker community of the West, and it also turned out to be the largest. It had over 4,000 acres and existed from 1805 to 1913. And we have the Robert and Virginia Jones Shaker Gallery, which does have examples of the shaker workroom for men, for women, a cafeteria area, and many other things. And our collection is one of the finest in this part of the country.
Lots of beautiful examples of that really well-crafted furniture too, right?
Yes, because the Shakers did everything with their motto was hands to work and hearts to God. So everything they did was an example of their love for God. One historian once said the most marvelous thing about a Shaker chair is that it was made by somebody capable of believing that it was an angel would come and sit upon it.
It's true. So downstairs from the Shaker area, we have the Village Green. That's like walking back in time right into the center of small town America, isn't it?
We have about 12 small shops, everything from a general store to a doctor's shop, a daguerrean shop of early photography, a jewelry shop with some interesting examples of jewelry made out of human hair. But also there's a cobbler shop and a blacksmith shop. So it is like small town of 1840.
And some very interesting medical tools, aren't there?
Yes, we have a bloodletting tool which once belonged to Dr. Isaac Lincoln Drake, who was President Lincoln's second cousin who lived here in town. But we also have what is known as a trifin, and it's a device which would pop out a little bit of the human skull, about the size of a nickel. It is the oldest known operation that man has ever performed.
Sounds like a little overkill for treating a headache to me. So John, Harmon is a museum. Most museums have art. You have a lot of art. You're trying to get more of it out on display, aren't you?
We are, actually. First off, we have a lovely Russell Wright exhibit. Now, Russell Wright was born here in Lebanon, became famous as an industrial designer. Long before there was a Martha Stewart or a Tommy Hilfiger, Russell Wright's dinnerware or place settings or his furniture with his name on it sold very rapidly. And his American modern dinnerware is still the most popular dinnerware ever produced in the United States. And so we have a large display of his work. But we also have Marcus Mote, a local Quaker artist. We have a good example of T.C. Lindsay, Thomas Corwin Lindsay, born in Cincinnati in 1839, and a picture done here in Warren County. And we have many other examples which we're rediscovering in our vault and putting on display to emphasize the great art of this part of the country.
Now, Lebanon also was a big stop on the Underground Railroad. You have an exhibit dedicated to that too, don't you?
Yes, Warren County was very much involved because you had the major city of Cincinnati, which a lot of escaping slaves would go into, but you're also across the Ohio River from Kentucky, a slave state. So we had a large Quaker population in Waynesville, Harveysburg, and Springboro, and several different Underground Railroad routes did go through what is now Lebanon.
And then one other thing you were telling me about was the Butterworth Cottage.
Yes, the Butterworth cabin is dedicated to Benjamin and Rachel Butterworth, who were Quakers, but they lived in southern Warren County, just south of Mainville. And they were very much active in the Underground Railroad. And it's one of the most documented involvement in the Underground Railroad that we have in the area. And much of the artifacts we have in that cabin were theirs. They were both very large people. He was about 6'6" and weighed over 300 pounds. His wife also was quite heavy. And so when the family gave their donation to us, they gave one of their rocking chairs. The family kept one, and it's a very, very large chair. You could tell a large person would be sitting in it.
John, these days we all have garages behind our house. You have a transportation room right off the village green, right?
We do. In our transportation room, you'll find a 1908 Buick, which was given to us some 50 years ago. It was driven here. We also have an 1829 wagon, a mail wagon from the Waynesville area from about 1850, and many other examples of wagons, bicycles, and what have you, in a very interesting room dedicated to all different modes of transportation.
Well, it's fascinating, and I just love going around here, seeing all the antique furniture. We're standing obviously in front of some fine china and silver. There's a wonderful antique piano behind us. If someone wants to come up and take a look, how would they find out more about the museum, find some directions and things like that?
Well, we're right in the heart of Lebanon, only 2 doors south of the Golden Lamb. But we also have a website, Warren County Historical Society Museum, or wchsmuseum.org. And you can find out information about us there, about what events we have taking place, new exhibits, part of our Lunch and Learn lecture series, which goes on 11 times during the year, and our changing exhibits as far as temporary exhibits that we have here at the Harmon Museum.
And as you say now, it's the costume exhibit on right now, right?
That is correct. We also have in Defense of America's Freedom, a temporary display on veterans from World War I and World War II.
All right. Well, John, this is just a fascinating place. I'm so glad that we could come up and visit you. Thanks very much for being on the showcase, and I encourage everyone to come up and take a look at this magnificent facility. Thanks, John.
Are you afraid of identity theft? If not, you should be. ID Shield monitors your social security, financial accounts, email, phone numbers, medical ID, even your social media, for as little as $19.95 per month. ID Shield is backed by Kroll, the world leader, and gives you comprehensive protection to restore your credit and more. Don't be a victim. Call Ron Chambers at 513-407-6501 and get protected today.
7,300 days, give or take, is all we get in retirement. How are you planning on spending those days? Let's begin that discussion at the Glenwood Financial Group. The Glenwood Financial Group. Advice with integrity.
Hi, everybody. We're here today in Bellevue, Kentucky. That's just across the river from downtown Cincinnati. Bellevue, Kentucky has an interesting claim to fame. It's actually the world capital of vitreous enamel. I'm here with Tom Ellis of Thompson Enamel. Thompson Enamel is a century-old company. It's been in Bellevue since the 1980s. Tom, tell me a little bit about vitreous enamels.
Vitreous enamel is glass that's been ground to a powder and fused to a metal substrate. Sometimes it's fused to a glass substrate, but primarily our product is used on copper, silver, gold, and steel. Peterbilt is probably the one that's most recognizable.
And then obviously you can make beautiful art with enamels. We're standing in front of some interesting pieces right here. This company was brought to Bellevue by
Woodrow Carpenter. Had a plant in Wilder where he used the product to make an industrial product. He made large vessels that were used for mixing acids and things that would require a glass-lined container. So he made the containers the stirring mechanism that would go in the container. He had one furnace that it was a 25 square foot room that was brought up to 1,470 degrees Fahrenheit. And the glass would take about an hour to fuse to the metal base.
And in fact, it's very versatile art form. In fact, these pictures of Woodrow and his wife Irmgard here are enameled portraits, right?
That's correct. Painting enamels are one use of the product. The glass is ground very, very fine like flour, and then it can be mixed with a painting medium and then applied with a brush, fired. The firings are normally from 1 to 5 minutes, and they're fired about 1450 degrees Fahrenheit.
And Irmgard, who was herself a pretty good artist, we're standing in front of one of her works. This is an example of cloisonné. It's a time-honored use of enamel, right?
Cloisonné is probably one of the better-known techniques in enamel.
The process of making the enamels is almost as fascinating as the works you can make with them. I'm really excited. We get to go over to the factory in just a few minutes and watch it made.
Thompson Enamel is the only manufacturer of jewelry enamel in the Western Hemisphere, and it's all made from scratch.
And there's one other important thing to say about your products. Your manufacturing is lead-free, right?
That's correct. That was one of Mr. Carpenter's most important things that he did in life, was to take the lead out of the glass so that more people could use it safely.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Tom. I'm looking forward to seeing the factory.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. We're here in the factory at Thompson Enamel in Bellevue, Kentucky. I'm here with Joanna Marin and Wayne Hale, here to talk about the process that turns these raw materials into some beautiful enamel. So you start out, I've seen these big vats of raw materials. So how do you get from A to B?
Start off with various amounts of chemicals, and you mix them in a mixer. Then we run it through a pot smelter, run it through the roll machine, which then goes to the grinding room, ground down to various meshes, and then sent to the shipping department.
Now, some of these products need an extra step of processing. They go through a sintering furnace, right?
That would be from our ball mills. We mix some of the base frit with some stains and grind it up in a mill, and then we run it through the sintering furnace. It's various around temperatures, from 1200 to down to maybe 1140.
So, Joanna, now you don't make just the enamels. You also make some of the surfaces that artists would use to apply your enamels, right?
Right. So we take copper, spin copper bowls, plates, saucers. We also stamp copper into various shapes, owls, elephants, pendants, earrings, things that will appeal to a lot of different enamel artists.
And you've got two different machines making those, right?
Yes, we have a punch press, and then we have a spinning lathe.
All right, very impressive watching those go. Now, to make all this stuff, you don't just go to Home Depot and pick up these tools, right? You have to make some of these yourself, right?
Yeah, they make the trivets, the bit of nails, which are really nice.
And you have to do your own maintenance, right? Because a lot of these are vintage machines. You can't just get spare parts for this.
You can't even find somebody who works on them. So we have a maintenance department, and one of the gentlemen has worked here for as long as Thompson Enamel's been here and worked for the same owner since before that. Punch press goes down, we can't call someone. We have to fix it ourselves.
Making these recipes is a little bit like baking, right? You have to mix it all just in the right proportions, but it's not just science, is it?
No, it's not just science, it's an art. And if it weren't for Thompson Enamel, it very well could be a lost art form in the United States.
Joanna, thanks so much for that fascinating tour of the factory. It's just amazing, all the things that have to come together to get those enamels ready to go. But it doesn't do any good unless someone actually buys the stuff. So you have customers all over the world, don't you?
From as far as Australia, Germany, and South Korea.
That's amazing. So how do people find you and how do people order?
www.thompsonenamel.com.
Quick and easy. All right. Thanks very much, Joanna. It's been great to visit.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Today's Toyota Boshoku Know Your Cincinnati question. What was the original name of Cincinnati? The answer right after this message.
When growth turns your current business software into productivity bottlenecks, it's time to consider an integrated solution. Foremost from Ashwood Computer can create an enterprise solution custom fit just for your business. Foremost manages every aspect of your operation and gives you instant access to the data that gives you a competitive edge. Find out what Foremost can do for you. Call Ashwood today or visit ashwoodcomputer.com.
Whether it's posters, brochures, shelf signs, or other promotional materials, RPI Graphic delivers vibrant print solutions to make your customers stop, look, and read. Our state-of-the-art offset and digital presses, creative services, and finishing options handle any job, large or small. RPI is a third-generation family-owned business. Find out how we can help you. Call us or visit rpigraphic.com.
Today's Toyota Boshoku Know Your Cincinnati question. What was the original name of Cincinnati? The answer, Los Santaville.
Hi, everybody. We're back at the Great Oaks Career Campuses. We're here at the Adult Education Center this time, back with John Weidlich, the Director of Community Relations. One of the great ways that Great Oaks is a community resource is its adult education programs. Tell us a little bit about those.
Exactly. Well, we're primarily a high school, but because we have these facilities with good equipment and teachers who know their field and know the careers in the area, adult education is the next logical step. So we open our buildings for primarily evening classes for adults to be able to become trained and certified in a professional field.
And how many students are you helping out at this point?
We have a little under 500 full-time students, a number of other part-time students, and we have lots and lots of community members who take short-term classes with us.
And how many actual programs do you have through the adult education system?
We have 12 full-time programs and about 8 or 9 other part-time programs.
So we're going to take a look in a few minutes at the HVAC program. That's heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. If you've ever seen that and said, what does that actually stand for? There you go. And so tell us a little bit about that program.
The HVAC program provides professional certification and even college credit for students who complete the program and complete all the requirements of the program. So we try to ensure that our labs are fully equipped with the latest and the most up-to-date equipment, furnaces, air conditioners, and other equipment that they'll see in the field.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that hands-on in just a minute.
Hello and welcome to Live Oaks. I wanted to introduce you to the Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning program for post-secondary learners. Wanted to introduce you to the lab that we have here at Live Oaks. It's quite an extensive lab. Here we have a floor radiant heating system. It's a 4-zone system powered by circulator pumps and a boiler. One of the nice things about a floor radiant heating system is that it's a nice even heat in the wintertime and it's completely silent. Just beyond that is another 4-zone cast iron section radiant heating system with the old cast iron section radiators like you might see in an older home. Here at the Live Oaks HVAC program, we've had students come from all walks of life, from military to retail to healthcare work. It makes no difference what your background is. We're going to take you from the ground up and teach you everything you need to know about installing, maintaining, and servicing heating and air conditioning equipment. You'll learn a variety of equipment from gas furnaces to oil furnaces, air conditioners, and heat pumps. We'll even teach you how to fabricate sheet metal and do work on ice machines. It makes no difference what your background is. Here at Live Oaks, if you're willing to learn, we're willing to train you. So of course the whole point to everything you're going to be learning here at Great Oaks is job placement. As far as the job market in HVAC, it's very hot. There are all kinds of careers ready for you to move into: service, maintenance, installation, technician, manufacturing, distribution. The world's your oyster when you graduate. Take, for instance, one of my students. He even started his own company just a few years out from graduation. His name is Billy Gibson.
I was working a dead-end job after high school and had put college off for a couple years and could not decide what I wanted to do. I saw a TV commercial for Great Oaks for the HVAC profession and decided that's what I was going to go for. Before graduating, Great Oaks actually found me a job in the career I was going for. After working there a year, I found a business partner and we decided to start our own heating and cooling company, and we haven't looked back. I would highly recommend Great Oaks to anyone.
Well, John, thanks for having us out at these great facilities, and thanks for being on the showcase. If people are interested in your adult education programs, where should they turn to get some more information?
Well, they can give us a call at 513-771-8881 or look us up online at adults.greatoaks.com.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
When your loved one needs extra care, who can you trust? Angels of Compassion offers at-home care as part of our Christian mission to serve. Our carefully screened caregivers help with everything, from light chores to nursing. Our Well-Check program checks the safety of loved ones, at home or in a facility. Let us help. Visit angelsofcompassion.net or call 513-829-1186.
So you're an established restaurant with a well-known brand and a signature taste, thinking about opening up an additional stream of revenue through a second location. Before you commit to a long-term lease and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in that second restaurant, how about taking your signature taste to the masses? Fire Within offers a turnkey wood-fired mobile pizza business, which might be perfect for you. Now you can take your restaurant to community events, sporting events, catering venues, and more. In addition to being a complete restaurant on wheels, Fire Within offers many levels of support, all designed to make you a success. You've got that drive, you've got that fire within. Now's the time to join forces with Fire Within wood-fired mobile pizza ovens. Log on or give them a call today.
Hi, everybody. I'm here in Pioneer Park in Montgomery, Ohio, just northeast of Cincinnati. I'm here with Susie Maynard of Pet Love Photography, and, well, her stars, Paco and Mr. Bojangles. You might actually know Mr. Bojangles more than the rest of them. He's a Facebook star. He's got 17,000 followers. How do you do that?
I don't know. We just started putting pictures of him on Facebook. We started a page, and one day he grew thousands of followers. Somebody shared his page that had a lot of followers of their own, and it just grew from there.
That's great. So Pet Love Photography is a relatively new business, but you've been a photographer for a lot longer.
Yes. I've been doing photography as a business for about the past 6 years. But I've always been a photographer ever since I picked up my mom's Brownie camera when I was little. Always wanted to be a photographer when I grew up, so finally decided that that's what I was going to be.
And so what was it about the pets that said, this is my calling?
I love pets, and I find them really easy to work with. I actually didn't know that there was such a thing as a pet photographer until I adopted Mr. Bojangles. And we had our picture taken at the event where he was adopted by a pet photographer. And I'm like, wow, I could be that. And so I decided to become one.
There you go. Now, some people are probably thinking, well, I'd love to have pictures of my pet, but I really can't imagine getting the pet into the car and getting over to your studio. So, but that's not really a problem, is it?
No, it's not. I work on location. I actually don't have a studio, but if somebody wants a studio look, I can bring that with me. I have portable equipment, studio backdrops and lighting that I can bring. But a lot of my sessions are in people's homes, more lifestyle environmental portraits, or outdoors, such as Pioneer Park, where we are today.
And it is a beautiful setting. It's a beautiful day, folks. I'm really sorry you're not here with us. So we have Paco and Mr. Bojangles. They're dogs. Obviously, you do lots of dogs. They're very sociable animals. Do you do other pets too?
I do indeed. I also photograph cats. They are not as frequent as dogs for clients, but that's one of the reasons that I work on location, because cats don't really like to go places, or at least most cats that I've met. So being able to do photographs in people's homes is very valuable, so that they can have pictures of their cats and other small animals, rabbits, guinea pigs, birds. I've even photographed for a rescue bearded dragons. I have people tell me all the time, oh, my dog will never pose, or I won't, can't get my dog to sit still. I try to take pictures of them. And I'm like, well, that's why I'm the professional. That's what I do. I always manage to get the shots that I need. And I take my time to work with the dogs or cats or whatever other type of small animal that you have. I've even photographed a horse. So.
Wow. Now, you were joking with me earlier, sometimes the pets are easier to deal with than children, aren't they?
Yes. I've never had a pet throw a temper tantrum on me, and they're almost always easily bribed by food, unlike children.
Hi, I'm out in the park with Sophie and Sophie's mom, Marianne. So, Marianne, you've worked with Pet Love Photography for several years now. Tell me what it's like and what it means to you to have these memories made for you.
We love working with Susanna. She brings out the personalities in both of our dogs. And unfortunately, their lives are very short, so we want to capture them, every couple years or every year. And she's very good. She's very good with animals. She's very calm with them, and we're just very happy with her work.
And you've had several settings with her in lots
Yes.
of different times of year and sort of occasions, right?
Yes, she has helped us with Christmas cards and our 15-year wedding anniversary pictures, along with both of our dogs. We just love it.
So, Susie, if someone wanted to get some work done and get some pictures taken, how would we find you?
Well, you can always find me through my website, www.petlovephotography.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Pet Love Photography. You can also send me an email, Suzy, S-U-Z-I, at petlovephotography.com, or my phone number, 513-288-1650.
Well, thanks so much for being on the showcase. This is certainly my favorite set so far, so congratulations.
All right, well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Bye, Mr. Bojangles.
You'll receive inspiration. The gears are turning and voila, you've got a great idea. What do you do now? Let us pull out the exciting details and breathe life into your idea. With a custom commercial that you can share on social media, television, or wherever your marketing plans might take you. Resource Marketing. We create award-winning films, television shows and corporate videos, in addition to motion graphics, animated whiteboards, and other cool stuff. But that just scratches the surface of who we are. At our core, we are storytellers. We tell stories that make a connection. Stories that are so powerful that people forget they're watching film. All they remember is the connection with your brand, which motivates them to act. That's the difference between making a video and creating a strategic marketing tool. Give us a call and let's discuss your story.
Thanks for joining us today for the Greater Cincinnati Business Showcase. We love our city and the stories we share that bring it to life. Brought to you by Toyota Boshoku America and produced by Resource Marketing. If your company or organization would like to be showcased on our program, give us a call or log on to our website for more information. And we'll see you next week right here for the Greater Cincinnati Business Showcase.